This is a Radiola 66 chassis from 1929, and right now I'm testing an output transformer. These old radios, like in the 20s and sometimes early 30s, had a lot of issues with transformers going open, so as soon as the first thing I'd usually do when I get one is check and make sure that all the transformers have continuity. And while checking this one, I discovered that the Interstage transformer for the audio output tube was open. So that's the box over there on the in front of it is the one that I'm testing out of a Radiola 18. So if you take a look at the schematic here, that's this transformer right here, which takes the output from the detector and drives the audio output tube. So I think it was open right here on the secondary. So I just took the transformer out of my Radiola 18. I have an extra Radiola 18 chassis, so I took the interstage transformers out of that. There's actually two transformers in that box, so I'm just using one of them. And I wired that in just as a test. Oh, and I also had to replace a resistor. Let's see where it is. This resistor right here. I had to replace. That was open. That's a power resistor. So I got the transformer wired in. Let's see what we get.
To bypass all the quarterbacks they bypass. I mean, Mel, I'll say this, that in my opinion anyway.
Well, it sounds like it works.
Drafts in the world, you can have the greatest skill players in the world, which they don't. You can have the greatest set of people surrounding them.
I kind of like the speaker. I like the interesting spider design. Usually, let's see if we can.
It stayed healthy for 16 games last year. Who knows? Maybe he'd still be on the team. But
so usually those the old field coil speakers, the spiders they have on them are just like three little lines going from the screw in the center out to the cone. But this one's a bit more interesting design. Another interesting feature of this radio is the shadow dial. Let me show you that. So this is the shadow dial for the radio. You can see this is the actual dial back here, and it's got the station numbers and markings punched in it, and then the dial light behind there projects that onto this screen in the front here. It's a pretty interesting design. See if we can get any more stations on here. This doesn't have an antenna, so it's not picking up much right now. See if I grab on the wire here.
Pick a first-round pick and say 50.
Con 6 pies de altura o aún más.
Seems like that window might be pretty dirty. I'll just have to see if I can clean that. It looks like the numbers are cut off over here and up here. But anyway, so everything seems to be good except for that interstage transformer. So the next thing, which is going to be a pain probably, is to melt all the wax out of that box to get the transformer out of it. And then I'll have to melt all the wax out of the box that the dead transformer is in, and then see if I can put the new transformer inside the box for the old transformer. And there's also some capacitors in that box too that I'll see if I can replace. But looking promising now, just to have to get that transformer switched, so I'll pick this up in the next part. What's for dinner? Ooh, output transformers. Not quite ready yet though. I don't know what kind of wax this is. Kind of nasty, pasty. The other one inside that aluminum foil thing seems to use beeswax. That melted. See, some of it melted out already. Melted a lot easier than whatever the Radiola 18 they were used. I just got these in here at about 350. Trying to melt the wax off. It seems to be working very slowly. So, we'll see. Alright, so I got the Radiola 66 chassis back together. I rebuilt this block. I'll turn it on. You see, I've got the projection dial working properly now. Before there was a 6-volt bulb in it, but this is a 2-volt. The tubes in this set use 2 volts, so I put the appropriate bulb in there, and that was much brighter. And then I had to reposition the lamp holders that it's shown. There's a little hole back there that the light shines through to hit the dial, and the light was misadjusted, so it wasn't lined up with the hole properly. So I had to fix that. Let's see, do we have any sound? Let me double check my connections. The speaker connection was disconnected, which was resulting in such low volume. So let's try this again.
I learned from Bobby Ross a while back because I asked him, from our broadcast booth, when
This between two people.
so you see what I'm saying? So like automatically, if a woman is married to another woman and a woman has a baby, the other woman under law would be considered the second mother, and the father would just be cut out automatically. They're trying to change it.
I'm assuming that's Rush Limbaugh. Seems like everybody gets Rush Limbaugh.
Across the country, we got it down to 59 meters. 57. What's the door?
Alright, so let's try the alignment again, and now with the speaker connected appropriately. So at 175 kilohertz. See if this changes depending on where I put it. this thing cut out again. It should sound like a 1 kilohertz tone. I'm not sure why it doesn't sound right. Alright. For some reason this is not coupling in. I'm not sure why. There is a coil back there. Should be the antenna coil, but for some reason it just doesn't want to couple into that coil. See if we can clip it right on the antenna. Come on. That sounds right. Okay, come on. So as you can see, 3 in the front are the IF tuning capacitors, and the 2 in the back are the neutralizing capacitors. And the difference is these are the IF tuning capacitors. And if you notice on later radios, you have 2 adjustable capacitors per IF stage, one on either side. On this radio, you don't. You have a fixed one on the primary and adjustable on the secondary. And this guy down here is the neutralizing capacitor. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 adjustable IF capacitors and 1, 2 neutralizing capacitors. And the point of the neutralizing capacitors is these are triode tubes, and triode tubes are prone to parasitic capacitance. I could stop shaking and hold this appropriately. Triode tubes are prone to parasitic capacitance between the plate and the grid of the tube. And what happens is essentially you've got a little capacitor here in parallel with this inductor, which causes a tuned circuit, and you can get oscillations at the wrong frequency, oscillations at a different frequency than what the IF is supposed to be tuned for. And when that happens, you get shrieks and squeals in the audio. So what they do is they put this capacitor here, which acts to cancel out that parasitic capacitance inside the tube. It looks like they have one here too, but this one is fixed. This is the adjustable one. So hopefully, as long as I don't have any shrieks and squeals in the audio, I won't have to adjust these. The only way I should have to adjust these is if I have unpleasant audio, and if I don't, I'm just going to leave them alone and not touch them and just adjust the IF capacitors. So we'll see what happens. Alright, now let's try lining it the right way. See what we can get down in here. I don't think these are that far off. Those seem pretty wide though. Yeah, I hear that. Now I might have to neutralize it. I was hoping to avoid that. this metal screwdriver is messing up, but my plastic one won't be strong enough to turn these, I don't think. No, not really. It's just mashing the tool. Yeah, that's not working. I have to use the metal one. Alright, I'm gonna have to put some tape or something on this. It's just throwing the alignment all off. Alright, got some tape on here, see if that makes this any easier. No, it won't fit in the hole. It's still not working. Oh, poked right through the tape. Alright, let's try something. Alright, so I got that one about as good as it's going to get. I just put some extra tape on the screwdriver, but it was still a little bit difficult to kind of get the screwdriver to stop throwing it off. But let's do a station sweep with the lights off. Get the full effect of the projection dial here.
And you're listening to Night Night on WBB News Radio, and right now we're talking about...
I just wanted to mention, this still has all the original filter capacitors in the power supply yet. They're paper capacitors, and they don't go bad with the same frequency as the old electrolytics do. I haven't replaced any of them, and you can hear that there's absolutely no filter hum or anything. And I've checked all of the voltages coming out of the power supply, and they're all pretty much perfect, so I'd say those capacitors are still good. Of course, this has no AVCs, so turn the volume all the way up to get these weaker stations, and then get blasted by the louder ones.
Today, because of my previous time in the CIA and the NYPD, I was particularly useful to a lot of different media outlets. It was great to get a chance to call.
Of course, this is without any antenna or anything attached. Actually, the local distance switch on this radio simply turns the antenna off, so without any antenna for a radio that was clearly designed for having one, I'd say this is pretty good. Let's take a look at the 27 tube there with the mesh anode. You can see the cathode going all the way through that. That's pretty cool. So that is the Radiola 66 with Interstage transformer replaced. Now I gotta decide what to do with it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.